Hello, everybody, and welcome to Forever Sports. For today's discussion about the Stormers' crisis and the injury crisis that they are currently in, and maybe sort of looking at whether it does excuse the current torrid form that they're actually showing, to be perfectly honest. And it's not been good reading for the Stormers, who are really, really struggling after last weekend, losing to Toulon in a very combative match. A match which has actually gotten a lot of criticism by fans against Toulon, for example, for the way that some of the tackles and the likes, the injuries, for example, that the Stormers sustained. And, you go back to 2 weeks ago where they almost beat the Sharks, but ended up losing. They lost to the Glasgow Warriors before the international break. They beat Munster. I think it was the last really opportunity where we actually played nice rugby. And that's all the way back in October since then. But generally, the season, they've been really, really poor. Got hammered by Edinburgh, for example. Beat Zebra, but also lost to Osprey. So they've not had a good start to proceedings. And staring down the battle for me of another potential loss this weekend, given the fact that they have currently got a total of 12 players out. 12 players. And what's ridiculous is if you look at, for example, their Springbok players, it's almost like every single one of their Springbok Cat players is not currently available. I think it's like Herschel Yankees, Warwick-Galant. I think that's actually it almost. In terms of players who've actually played for the Box, captain the Box, that are currently available to John Dobson. And you got to feel for the man. Yes, I don't think that. I think there's been trouble brewing in a while for a squad, which I think has had quite a lot of a couple of key players missing, and they've suddenly they're definitely suffered in certain aspects. But you got to look at some of the facts here, and the fact of the matter is that they're missing some absolutely crucial players. And we're going to go into this in injury update. And there's a particular injury update I want to speak about a little bit as well, which is Stephen Kitsoff. So, yesterday there was a injury update provided by the Stormers, and they've confirmed that Marty Bach, Keke Marabi, and Ben Jason Dixon, who all featured over the weekend, will not travel this week and are unavailable for their clash on Saturday against the Harlequins, which, by the way, is at 10 o'clock Saturday night. Nice early kickoff, yeah, but it's a bit of a late one for Stormers fans. But basically, Keke Marabe, it's a long-term injury. Gutted for him because he was really starting to get a bit of a run into the Stormers. I was really excited to see what he could do. But he has fractured his leg and he's going to be out for a long time. Whilst Marty Bach and Ben Jason Dixon are going to be reassessed after 12 days with regards to the HIA protocol. So they are out for this weekend as well. They join an injury list that looks like the following: Sal Murat, Steve Sartori, France Maherba, Dion Free, and Sacha Famigomazulu. All of those are expected to return before the end of the year. Probably not this weekend, but will return by the end of the year. Those games, the South African derby is coming up in a couple of weeks' time around the Christmas period. I'll be interested to see what happens with Fami Gomazulu because he was concussion. They usually are 12-day turnaround, which means that after having not played this past weekend, I don't know what that means that he potentially comes available this weekend, depending on what the situation is there. But big boots over there would be a Dion Free, for example, into that back row. France Maherba, Steve Torley, I mean, those two would probably start together in the current situation. Salmarat in the number 4 jersey. So big names that can come. But longer-term injuries include Evan Lewis, it's a shoulder injury, Dan Duplessis, a knee injury, Ben Lerner, knee injury, as well as Damien Willems with his groin issue. And they are scheduled to return to play in the new year, as well as Stephen Kitsoff. Now, this is what I keep saying. I want to speak about this a little bit, because I gave an injury update about Stephen Kitsoff after he posted the update about his surgery, and he said, please listen to him, wait for his updates with regards to where he is in his recovery, and to not assume anything. And everybody came out and basically said, no, he's retired, he can't play again, he'll never play again. But there's been no official confirmation from him that he won't play again. There's been no official confirmation from the Stormers that he won't play again. And again, as per his injury, update, all intents and purposes, at this stage, they are still hoping he might still play. And my big thing when it comes to reporting on his injury is when the player asks very specifically, please do not assume anything. Please just listen to what I said. Basically, he said, I will give you guys the updates. I will tell you. I think that the implications, I will tell you if I'm going to retire. I will tell you when it's not going to happen. But until then, please do not assume anything. And we owe it to someone like Stephen Kitsoff to give him the benefit of the doubt, to wait for what he has to say before we go and decide that he's never going to play again. And maybe it's likely he won't play again. But until he's decided that, until he's made that announcement, we have got no right to make that call. We've got no right to tell everybody that he's not going to play again when he's not officially retired, officially made that call. But the main thing is, you look at these players, and I mean, even the past weekend, Ben J. Sticks and Marnie Bach, they are current Springbok squad members. Salman Murat, current Springbok member. Frans Maherba, current Springbok. Sash van Gomazulu, current Springbok. Evan Lewis, the current Springbok. David Willemse is the current Springbok. Dion Fries, Springbok capped. I think Steve Totally could actually be Springbok captain, more honestly. But, I mean, Dan du Plessis, these are all... A lot of these players are starters, really. I mean, I'm trying to think of the only player who I think, if everybody in the squad that wouldn't necessarily start, would be a Steve Totally, maybe a Kiki Marabe, and maybe a Ben Loader. Everybody else starts if they're all fully fit. So you've got basically 10 out of potentially 15 starters at the Stormers, all currently out. So you've got to feel sorry for John Dobson, because I don't think any coach would really be able to cope with this. The only sort of silver lining is it really does show you where your depth is. And I think they've got decent depth in certain positions. For example, at lock, the fact they've got JD Schickeling back, you've now still got, Ruben van Heerden, JD Schickeling, Salman Murat, that's a really nice lock cover. I do think it's sort of exposing, what their props are like, for example. At the moment, they've got decent hooker cover. But it's interesting to see sort of where maybe sometimes the gaps are. With, I think, Flauhoff potentially being one. Now, all of a sudden, no Sash Fami Gomazulu, no Marnie Bach, you've got no Damien Willemse, and all of a sudden, you've got like a Jean-Luc Duplessis, but otherwise, you start seeing like a Yeri Matia getting his opportunities. And the big thing for the players who are currently fit is take that opportunity. You've got the chance to really impress, to go out there and show what you're all about. See, Bela Snutler making a return over the weekend was a bit of like a bonus signing, almost type thing for the Stormers, given the fact that he hasn't played for so long, and at one stage didn't look like he was ever going to play again. I want to know from you, do you think that the injuries justify the results? And, does this buy John Dobson time? And how much time? How much benefit of the doubt does he get? And how many injuries need to come back before, the performances need to start kicking into gear? Let me know what you think down in the comments below. Smash a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel as well. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Steve. I'll chat to you soon.